haven't done anything yet that's applause-worthy, but thank you. My name is Julie Bunchek, and I am the Lecture in Fine Arts Coordinator here at UW Marathon County. And I'd like to welcome you to our first, possibly annual, ask me in a couple hours, 24-hour Arts Challenge. The Lecture in Fine Arts series is a series, or sponsors several special events related to the arts in music, theater, visual arts, and literary arts. And as far as I can tell, and I've talked to a couple other people, this is the first time in a long time that we've done an event that brings all four of those arts disciplines together. And I, for one, have just had a wonderful time the last 24 hours watching my colleagues working one-on-one with their students and seeing how many students turned out. We had over 100 people participating. I shouldn't say just students, but high school students, UW Marathon County students, and members of the community. So it has been a fantastic turnout. And I'm going to invite the different professors who sort of oversaw the different challenges to explain to you what each challenge was. And first I'm going to explain to you how tonight is going to work. We're going to start the show very soon with creative writers. That'll be followed by a theater group. Then we'll have intermission, and I encourage you to bid on the silent auction items that hopefully you saw as you came in. And then after intermission, we will have choir performance. First off, though, I'd like to introduce my colleague Diana Buddy, who is the art professor, and she will explain to you how the Visual Art Challenge worked.
Okay, great. I'm so excited to see everybody filling up the theater tonight. So the art challenge we had was to convert a book into a work of art. And over the past couple months, our library was getting rid of some books, and we were collecting donated books. And so we had a collection there for students and other participants. And I just wanted to say that some of the students, they came from all over. There's one from Tomahawk even, Wausau West, Wausau East, good showing of those students. And then 4 of our UWMC college students. So we had a really good turnout. I thought, oh, and a student from Edgar, I remember, yes. So so we had books, and also I have 2 artist friends who do artist books. One is Teresa Ann Gifford, who runs the Assemblage Studio in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and she loaned me some of her art books, which sell for $180. Just to put that in your mind when you're bidding on them. And another friend of mine, Chris Capista, she does art books as well, and she is actually an instructor here and has taught math for, I think, over 30 years here. So they came at 3:30 on Friday, and they could choose a book, and they were given an X-Acto knife and said, go to it. You can add anything you want as long as you preserve something of the original book. And that was the challenge. They came back today at 3:30 and brought what they made. And we displayed it, as you can see, outside the theater. So at intermission time, we welcome you to go over there. And the base bid is $25. We figured $1 an hour plus a little tip. But we hope they go for more. So at intermission, I welcome you to come and browse and see if you like anything. Okay, and now I'm going to introduce Jill Stukenberg, who led the Creative Writing Challenge.
Hi, thanks to everybody for coming out tonight. I'm very excited to introduce to you our writers. We have creative writers who have written in a genre of their choice, so we'll see what forms we get tonight. I don't know, maybe there'll be poetry, maybe short stories, maybe creative rant, all kinds of forms. So we'll hear from 8 creative writers. Additionally, there are a couple of creative writers who chose to photocopy their work and put it out on the art table. So and those you can just help yourself too. And And then after the creative writers, there's also a playwriting team. And what I'd like to tell you about is the creative writers and the playwriters were given a series of prompt words. So the same way that the visual artists were given a prompt material, so were the writers. In their case, the material was words and phrases. These words and phrases were derived at random by Professor Tim Buchholz, and I opened up 2 copies of the same book at random and looked for what words our eyes alighted on. And this wasn't just because we were pressed for time or feeling silly or something. It's actually based in a tradition of writing where you use randomness to generate and to spark creativity. So we opened up a book called The Last Lecture at random, and these are the words and phrases that we chose. And then these are the words and phrases that, when you listen to the creative writing pieces tonight, listen for these, because these are the words and phrases the writers had to work into their piece in some way. So here are the words. The first phrase was, rethink the telephone. Then there was this, and this is so surprising that this came up, but we promise it was random. Star Wars was there. The word childhood, the word dream, the word elevator, and then the 2 phrases, romancing the brick wall, and when the lid came off. So the idea is that these constraints, and along with the time constraint of 24 hours, sometimes you need parameters to work within in order to create art. Just like a painter needs a canvas. Sometimes you need something like words you're supposed to use and a time limit you're supposed to work within. And so that was the challenge these writers had, was the words and the time limit. So we'll have them each come up here and read their work. And I will just say their names briefly to introduce them. And so the first writer that we are going to hear from is Olivia McGovern.